Tammy?
Hey,
Where are we headed?
to get things done for a wedding.
My daughter's is getting married tomorrow.
Going to the chapel and we're not
Going to get married, are we? Alrighty here, let's have a look. Santos Bartolome. Oh, comments on Mando, our future little stud.
Oh my gosh, we got some new videos of that
I put
boy.
it up on there. That's why people see him.
Holy cow.
He's
Isn't
pretty.
he great?
He's pretty.
Oh, he's short,
Yes.
compact, nice bone, flat face, short tail, just wonderful personality. You know, that is a Moneybags production, and that is produced, Moneybags was produced by Annette Woods.
So who did this dog come from? Because we should give a shout out to that. Who is?
That's Annette Woods.
I know, but the person that Cody got the dog from is not Annette.
I'd have to look that
Okay,
up,
that's fine.
James.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Let's have a look here. Jackie Williams. I'm purchasing a female that is AA, so that's double recessive black. Not a black dog, but it's on the A gene. Double A makes for a solid coat color. Big CO, little CO, so one copy of blue. Big D, little D, one copy of, little CO, big CO, little CO, one copy of chocolate. Big D, little D, one copy of blue. EME, one copy of cream. KNKB, one copy of brindle. NS, one copy of pied. She says, I have no idea that brindle carrier actually is a brindle dog until I was watching one of his videos. Yes, it is. One copy of brindle shows up most of the time. She's very black with a white chest with no signs of brindle. Well, that's because she's a double A dog. So the double A helps hide the brindle up because double A makes for a consistent coat color. But it's there. I have a male that is ATA, so you're going to produce ATAs.
Look, there's a little lotus.
And AAs, yep. And you'll produce big D, little D, blues, big CO, little CO. I'm planning on breeding. I'm worried about the 10 points we washed out with the brindling. Yes. So the problem you're going to have here is that half the dogs are going to inherit brindle from your girl. And the dogs that don't end up being AA will be ATA, and in those dogs that carry the brindle, they won't show the 10 points. So, well, it'll show muddled up 10 points. So, right. So the answer is you are going to get some brindling in there. That's why we try to avoid brindle, folks. Mr. B, what week can I take mum for an ultrasound? 3 weeks after AI is reliable. They say you can do it before that, but I wait because they tend to be difficult to interpret what's going on. I like 30 days. 30 days after. That's more than 3 weeks. Excuse me, 30 days after AI. I think is if you can wait that long, it's more reliable. Jen Lynn, I'm preparing to send a swab test for coat color from my 8-month-old male. I'm wondering how to test the intensity gene. I do not see the option. Animal genetics is not. Animal genetics does not offer that. So there are other places to go like NBARC and UC Davis. They take a long time to get results back, but for some reason it's not available from animal genetics. Ray Holman, I have a 4-year-old girl who's had 2 previous litters. No problems getting pregnant in the past. This year I've done a progesterone, so now so I know when she ovulated, but bred twice, the same stud, neither has taken. What could be my problem? Well, so the number of things. First thing is what I like to do is, especially if you've had problems, is when you think you're finished doing your AI, do another progesterone test and make sure the numbers are up higher than what you would normally expect them to. Above, if it's an IDEX, above a 20, if it's a fine care, above a 22. Because sometimes, you can see a dog that's ovulated, but the dog's doing this, and you think you're up here, but you're down here. So you've got to do a test afterwards to confirm that you're in the right place. The second thing is, if you had problems with this stud dog twice, I would use a different stud dog. And the last thing is, did you check the semen to make sure the semen's okay? Laurie Ann, I don't mind the length of your videos, even though you keep them short. If they were long, it wouldn't matter to me whatsoever. Okay, well, good.
Well, there's a reason why we have to do it a certain length, isn't it?
Well, the reason we keep the videos short is if you look, there's statistics that YouTube gives you on what your videos are doing, and historically you find that people typically don't hang around for 10, 15, 20-minute videos. And so it's better to split those videos up. Someone's asking about why does my machine have her at a 2.11 and the vet's IDEX machine has her at a 0.3? Well, I don't know. I mean, some things doesn't sound exactly right there. So, what I would do in a situation like that, the first thing is how long has the dog been in heat? That would give you an idea about, what you'd expect the numbers to be. If it's a 0.3, I would think this would be a dog that's been in heat for maybe 4 or 5 days. If it's a 2.11, I'd expect it to be a dog that's been in heat for a bit longer than that. But look, if you're unsure, go get the test done again, or do the progesterone test with the IDEX again and see if you get the same number back. And of course, somebody could be making a mistake in the way that they are doing the test at either end, or reporting the numbers. Did they, in fact, when they said a 0.3, do they mean a 3? Those kind of things do happen. Cuddlebug French's comments, risk of parvo and ground transport with a question mark. Yeah, you're right. So you're right. Anytime that a dog leaves to go anywhere, and you've got to be careful about what it's being exposed to, because puppies don't have full immunity until they're at least 6 months old. So watch out for that. Cuddlebug French's quick question. Pups are 7 weeks today, doing great. Mum is still wanting to nurse 2 times a day. It's really pulling it down and looks horrible. Should I force her to stay away from now to recover? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what I would be doing here is I would be getting the puppies on mush. I'd have done that sooner than this, actually, if the mum's looking tough. Some mums will nurse puppies for as long as you leave them with the puppies, but it doesn't really help them out if they're starting to look pretty thin. They're looking like their coat's completely blown and they've got their backbone showing. Get them off mum and get them on what we use is Royal Canine Puppy Mousse. And it's a really liquidy kind of formula.
And it helps mama too.
Yeah, and get nutrition from that rather than mum. And then by now you could have gotten onto kibble. So I would be getting them off mum and onto kibble and weaning them completely from mum. Dog mating, late state bullies. Holding them up for 30 minutes is completely unnecessary. You really only need about a minute. Rubbish. I can tell you this, try it for a minute and see how much leaks out. They're complete nonsense. I mean, I can tell you, why do dogs get hooked up in 10, 15, 20 minutes? Evolution has taught them they've got to get hooked up. If you think you're going to get this done in a minute, you're nuts. Really bad advice for people, and the right advice is, when you think you've done this long enough, let them down on the ground and see if anything drips out. And if it does, get them back up on your leg. That is really bad advice. If you've been doing it that way and being successful, I'd be very surprised. So I'm going to stick with what I say. It's worked well for me for a long time. 15 minutes at the minimum, and probably 30 minutes, sometimes 45 minutes, sometimes an hour before it's all soaked up. Depends on the size of the dog, depends on the amount of semen you're putting in the dog. You've got a small dog with a lot of semen, you may even want to split it up in 2 loads and do it twice. So, there we go.
Can you help me?
Yes. All right. Bye, everybody. Hey, thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.